What is up, guys? I tricked my girlfriend here. She's gonna watch something. We're gonna see if she likes it, and if she does, we're gonna keep going with it. Hey!
This is what you need to know about the entire original God of War saga, from start to finish. Our story begins with the Primordials, the very first beings to come into existence, fighting for control of their creation, Earth. This war ravished the world, and eventually the three Furies were born from the rage and power of the battle. The Furies were then tasked to honor oaths between the various beings of Earth. Their first victim was the Hecatoncheires, Aegeon, who had broken an oath to one of the first gods, Zeus. To make an example of Aegeon, the Furies petrify his body into the prison of the damned for anyone who dared to break an oath in the future. Eventually, the Furies began to take guidance from the god of war, Ares, who convinced them to join him in a siege on Olympus. Believing their forces to be too weak, the Queen of the Furies, Alecto, birthed a son with Ares, hoping to create a powerful warrior. This warrior, Orcos, proved to be a failure in Ares' eyes and was disowned. However, the Furies decided to use him as their oathkeeper. With Ares still in search for his warrior to help take over Olympus, Zeus hears of a prophecy foretelling his death at the hands of one of his sons, a marked warrior. Ares is then tasked to find and dispose of this threat. Ares discovers Deimos, a young Spartan who bore a birthmark all over his body, and storms the city to capture him. During the kidnapping, Deimos' brother, another young Spartan by the name of Kratos, attempts to stop the god, but he is struck down, leaving a scar over his right eye. Ares attempts to kill Kratos for this, but his sister, Athena, the goddess of war, convinces him to spare the boy. Deimos is then taken to the god of death, Thanatos, to prevent the prophecy and protect Zeus. Kratos, tortured by his inability to save his brother, vows to never fail like that again and tattoos a replica of Deimos' birthmark on himself in remembrance. Kratos' rage and pain remained with him as he became a leading member of the Spartan army, eventually marrying a Spartan woman named Lysandra, and the two have a daughter whom they name Calliope. Calliope unfortunately contracts a plague, which infects her skin and causes the Spartan authorities to decide for her to be thrown into a chasm and left to die. Kratos then sets off to find the cure for her disease, a mysterious element with the exceptional healing abilities called ambrosia. Unbeknownst to Kratos, the gods had a wager in which they selected various heroes whom they believed would be the first to obtain the ambrosia. Kratos was chosen by Ares, likely due to their prior run-in in which Kratos displayed his resilience and bravery. After battling the other gods' selected heroes, Kratos fights a climactic battle with an army of barbarians and their leader Ulrich, who was trying to retrieve the ambrosia to heal his own father. Kratos eventually bests Ulrich and captures the ambrosia, but at the cost of many of his men. Upon returning to Sparta, Kratos heals his daughter, and the king of Sparta bestows on him the title of captain. As captain of the Spartan army, Kratos leads his men to many victorious battles, often slaying scores of enemies with an increasing hunger for power, despite the wishes of his wife. Eventually, Kratos comes across a familiar enemy, the barbarian king Ulrich, who still blames Kratos for his father's death.
So
Kratos and his army are no match for the rebuilt barbarian army, and Kratos, moments away from death at the hands of Ulrich, calls out to Ares in desperation. Ares, seeing a candidate to overthrow Olympus, accepts Kratos' offer of loyalty and kills the barbarians in exchange. He then gives Kratos the Blades of Chaos, symbolizing his servitude to the god of war. Under Ares' loyalty, Kratos slays many innocents, razes villages, and spreads chaos in the name of him. Under Ares' influence, Kratos slowly loses his humanity with every battle fought for the god. Soon, Kratos is tasked to raid a village of Athena's followers due to Ares' jealousy of Athena, whom their father Zeus favored. There, he encounters an oracle who warns Kratos of dark things awaiting him inside the city's temple. Kratos ignores this warning and enters the temple, blindly slaughtering those inside. However, afterwards, Kratos comes to realize that those inside the temple were none other than his beloved wife Lysandra and daughter Calliope. Ares reveals that he had transported them there secretly in order to sever Kratos' human ties and create the perfect warrior. Kratos leaves the bodies of his family inside the temple to burn, and as he exits, the oracle curses him, binding the ashes of his wife and child to Kratos' skin, forcing him to wear another reminder of his failures and turning him into the Ghost of Sparta. Kratos then renounces his allegiance to Ares and breaks his oath, causing the Furies to hunt him down and torture him with endless illusions. Kratos then finds himself trapped in an illusion of his former home in Sparta. Orcos appears before him and helps him break the illusion using Lysandra's necklace and ring. Orcos then convinces Kratos to seek out Aletheia, the oracle at Delphi. He finds the oracle captured, but is unable to prevent her from being mortally wounded. Before her death, she informs Kratos that the only way he can be free of his oath to Ares would be to slay the oath's enforcers, the three Furies. Kratos returns to Orcos, who informs him of Ares' true intentions all along to use him to overthrow Zeus. With this knowledge, Kratos travels to Delos to slay the Furies. Upon his arrival, however, he is ambushed and captured by them, and they proceed to torture him in the prison of the damned. After 2 weeks of torture, one of the Furies leaves an opening for Kratos to exploit and escape his imprisonment. After various battles and illusions, Kratos is able to outsmart and outfight the Furies, slaying all three of them. After the death of the Furies, Kratos returns to his home in Sparta where he finds Orcos, who reveals to Kratos that while he had killed the Furies, they transferred Kratos' oath to him, keeping the bond with Ares intact. Orcos hands Kratos his blade and asks him for an honorable death in order to permanently end Ares' hold on them. Kratos complies, killing Orcos and burning his home with the former Oathkeeper's body still inside. No longer under servitude to Ares, Kratos dedicates his life to serving the gods of Olympus as their trusted warrior. After defeating an invading Persian army for the gods, Kratos appears before them to ask for his next task. Suddenly, however, he sees the sun fall from the sky, enveloping the world in darkness. Kratos follows the last trace of light he can see to the temple of Helios. After speaking to Athena, Kratos concludes that Helios had been captured, allowing the god of dreams Morpheus to entrance other gods into a deep sleep, allowing him to take control of Greece. Inside the temple, Ios, Helios' sister, tasks Kratos to awaken her brother's fire steeds in order to find him. In return, she promises to relieve Kratos of his nightmares, which haunt him in the form of a melody his daughter used to play on her flute. He does this, and the steeds take him to Helios' location, the underworld. There, he meets Charon, the ferryman on the river Styx, who ultimately denies Kratos passage, as it is not his time. Kratos engages him, but is knocked unconscious and thrown into Tartarus, the darkest depths of the underworld where the Titans had been chained by Zeus. Upon waking, Kratos witnesses Atlas's chains broken and the Titan missing. Kratos fights his way through Tartarus, eventually climbing out to confront Charon once again. After defeating him, Kratos uses his ferry to follow Helios' light down the river Styx to a temple. There, Kratos sees his daughter upon the shore. He follows her inside, but instead finds Persephone, the queen of the underworld. Persephone reveals to Kratos that he can meet his daughter once again, and she is now residing in the Elysium Fields. Persephone tells Kratos that to see his daughter, he must make a sacrifice, to give up all of his weapons and powers given to him by the gods. Kratos does this, transferring his powers into the Forsaken Tree, and regains his humanity. He reunites with his daughter, but the reunion is interrupted by Persephone, who reveals her true intentions. She reveals that it was her who released Atlas, whom she tasked with destroying the pillar that holds the earth. She intends for this to kill everyone, including herself, to free her from her imprisonment by Hades as his wife. Kratos painfully makes the decision to give up his ability to see his daughter and regains his weapons from the tree. Doing this, he once again becomes the Ghost of Sparta and, against his daughter's wishes, takes off to stop Persephone. Kratos finds the queen at the base of the pillar, and she carries him to the top. There, the two engage in a final battle. During this battle, Persephone attempts to confuse Kratos and convince him to return to Elysium to be with his daughter. Kratos resists this, however, and Persephone orders Atlas to take care of him. Atlas does not get this chance, however, as Kratos chains the Titan to the ceiling of the underworld and returns to Persephone, besting her in battle and killing her. Her body explodes, destroying the pillar and leaving Atlas as the only thing holding the world together. Atlas, though defeated, taunts Kratos as he remains a slave to the gods. Kratos accepts this fate, as he can only hope that serving the gods will cause them to one day free him from his nightmares. Atlas then predicts to Kratos...
Yeah, that giant thing that was holding out.
Okay. Literally the Atlas.
Kratos that they meet again before Kratos leaves to return Helios to the sky. Weak, and now knowing that his sins will never allow him to see his daughter again, Kratos falls from the chariot, landing on a cliff overlooking the Aegean Sea. Sometime after waking, Kratos is sent into the sea to kill a Hydra and return peace to the waters. After doing so, he is approached by Athena, who asks Kratos to save her city, Athens, from her brother Ares, whose army is currently advancing. Kratos, seeing an opportunity to get revenge on Ares, agrees on the condition that the gods free him of his nightmares once and for all, as well as offer him a chance at redemption. Kratos enters Athens to find the town's oracle, who tells him that in order for a mortal to defeat a god, he must seek the power of Pandora's box, which is locked inside a temple constructed on the back of the Titan Cronos, who Zeus cursed to wander the desert of lost souls for eternity. Kratos makes his way to the temple, encountering a mysterious gravedigger on the way. Inside the temple, Kratos solves several puzzles in order to find Pandora's box. However, Ares senses this and throws a pillar from Athens, impaling Kratos and killing him. Ares then arrives and steals the box as Kratos dies and returns to the underworld. However, with help from the gravedigger, who refers to Kratos as my child, he is able to climb from Hades and return to Athens. There, he opens Pandora's box and gains the power to confront Ares. After a battle, Ares tortures Kratos by forcing him to relive his family's death at his hands. Kratos resists this, however, and Ares is forced to strip the Blades of Chaos from Kratos' arms and kills the illusions of his family in front of him. Freed from the illusion, Kratos finds a nearby sword being used as an ornamental bridge and uses it to kill the god of war. The gods praise Kratos for killing the rebelling Ares. Kratos then asks Athena to finally free him of his nightmares. Athena then finally reveals to Kratos that while she can forgive his sins, his nightmares will stay with him forever. Kratos, feeling abandoned by the gods, climbs back to the cliffs overlooking the Aegean Sea, and feeling death as his only escape, throws himself off. However, Athena stops him at the bottom, claiming that there is now an empty throne upon Olympus. Kratos then enters a portal and claims his throne as the new god of war. Still haunted by his memories, Kratos decides to explore his past against Athena's wishes. He makes his way to the Temple of Poseidon in Atlantis. Poseidon attempts to stop Kratos, but he defeats his defenses and reaches the city. There, Kratos finds, much to his surprise, his mother, Callisto, dying on the ground. She reveals to him that his father is the one who brought her there, and that his brother Deimos is still alive but does not have much time. Before dying, she tells Kratos to seek out his brother in Sparta. Kratos then departs Atlantis, but not before encountering the Titan Thera, whom he frees, destroying the city in a flood. Kratos returns to Sparta, but on his way encounters and kills Thanatos' daughter, Erinyes. Upon his arrival to the city, he is praised by its inhabitants, led by a young Spartan who gives Kratos his arms from when he was the commander of the Spartan army. Kratos goes to the Temple of Ares, and after encountering a spirit-like vision of his younger self, he learns that he must return to Atlantis to find Death's domain. Upon returning, however, Kratos is stopped by a statue of Poseidon, inhabited by the god, who warns him that he will pay for sinking the kingdom of Atlantis. Kratos avoids the statue and makes his way through the ruins of the city, eventually coming across the Gravedigger once again, who cryptically warns Kratos not to alienate the gods. Kratos then finds the gateway to Death's domain. Inside, Kratos finds and frees his brother, who becomes enraged at him for seemingly forgetting about him for all this time. Thanatos arrives and intervenes, capturing Deimos and bringing him to the same cliff Kratos attempted to kill himself from. Kratos saves his brother and the two reconcile. Kratos gives Deimos his arms, and the two fight Thanatos together. During the battle, Thanatos kills Deimos, and Kratos avenges his brother by finally killing the god of death. A broken Kratos then carries his brother up the mountain, where the Gravedigger has prepared a grave for him. Kratos ponders what he has become, and the Gravedigger answers, Death, the destroyer of worlds. Athena appears before him and attempts to elevate him to a full god. Kratos stops her, however, and returns to Olympus, claiming that the gods will pay for what they have done to Kratos and his family. As he leaves, Athena mythically refers to him as brother. The Gravedigger then buries Callisto next to Deimos and proclaims upon a third grave that now only one remains, as Kratos returns to his throne and plans his next move against the gods, leading his Spartan army to conquer Greece. After launching this attack, Athena pleads with Kratos to stop. He claims to owe her nothing and turns his back on her to assist his army in the town of Rhodes. There, he spots an eagle, whom he believes to be Athena in disguise, whom robs him of his godly abilities, and instead infuses them into the Colossus of Rhodes, who comes to life and tries to kill Kratos. Zeus arrives and offers Kratos the Blade of Olympus, which he once used to win the great war between the gods and the Titans. Zeus urges Kratos to infuse the blades with his remaining godly powers, which renders him mortal once again, but allows him to destroy the Colossus from the inside.
Like, oh, we
Upon
have
doing
no
this, however,
plot
Kratos is
twist,
crushed
let's
by the
just make up
Colossus'
a bunch of
severed
crap.
hand. Determining that he must retrieve the Blade of Olympus to get his immortality back, he slowly makes his way over to it, only to be stopped by Zeus, who reveals himself to be the eagle that stole Kratos' power, in an attempt to kill him to stop him from overthrowing Zeus as he did with Ares. Zeus then stabs Kratos, killing him. While he is being dragged into the underworld once more, the mother of the Titans, Gaia, saves him and reveals that Cronos, Zeus' father, ate all of his children in an attempt to stop the prophecy that he would die at the hands of one of his sons. Zeus' mother, however, hid him on an island that was actually Gaia. Gaia raised the boy, but he grew vengeful and eventually sought to defeat the Titans, which he did by using the Blade of Olympus. Gaia offers to help Kratos exact revenge on the King of Olympus. Gaia gives Kratos the magical horse Pegasus.
This is actually real Greek. A lot of it is Greek mythology that they follow.
Past and kill Zeus. Kratos flies to the island of creation and after
I know
besting
it's
several
Greek
powerful
mythology,
foes,
but
including a risen
they
Ulrich,
just mix
he comes
it up
across Icarus,
altogether.
who strips of his wings, plummeting below the
In
earth
one
and landing
story.
upon Atlas. Originally refusing to help Kratos, still holding begrudgment over his imprisonment at the Spartans' hands, Atlas is eventually persuaded to help him kill Zeus. Atlas helps Kratos return to the surface, where he awakens the Phoenix and flies to the Temple of the Fates to meet the sisters. There, he expresses his wishes, but the sisters deny him passage. Kratos then confronts the youngest sisters, Lachesis and Atropos, who attempt to take him back to his battle with Ares and force him to die by the god's hand in the past. He avoids this effort and traps the sisters in a mirror, then destroying it to seal them away for eternity. Kratos then makes his way to the eldest sister, Clotho, who operates the Loom of Fate. Kratos kills the final sister and takes control of the loom to change his fate. He turns the thread of fate back to his death at the hands of Zeus and saves his past self by reclaiming the Blade of Olympus before Zeus has a chance to. The two then engage in a battle until Zeus stuns Kratos with a lightning storm. Kratos plays possum and pins Zeus before driving the Blade of Olympus into the god's chest. Before he can kill him, however, Athena appears and intervenes to protect Olympus. Zeus attempts to escape, Kratos lunges at him with the blade, and Athena sacrifices herself by jumping in front of it, saving her father. Kratos asks Athena why she would do this, and she reveals that she did it to allow Zeus to stop the cycle of sons killing their fathers, finally revealing that Kratos is in fact a son of Zeus. Vowing to destroy Olympus, Kratos returns to the loom and turns back time all the way to the Great War. He calls out to Gaia and they return to Kratos' time, where an injured Zeus is calling on his fellow gods to kill Kratos. The Titan army, led by Kratos, then storm Olympus with the intent to win the Great War once and for all.
Return with the destruction of Olympus. That's where that line comes from right there.
The Titans and gods wage a very intense and bloody battle as Poseidon begins to take on Gaia. Kratos draws him into Gaia's grasp and is able to weaken him, eventually knocking him onto a platform and beating him before gouging his eyes out and snapping his neck, killing him and flooding the entire world. Kratos and the Titans then make it to the top of Olympus and confront Zeus, who, anticipating their arrival, hits them with a blast of lightning, damages Gaia, and knocks her and Kratos off the mountain. Attempting to hang on, Kratos is then betrayed by Gaia, who lets him fall as he is no longer a use to them now that they have reached Zeus's throne. After falling once again to his death, Kratos makes his way through the river Styx, lamenting that he was used as a pawn by both the gods and the Titans. He then reunites with a reformed Athena, who is willing to help Kratos from her new level of existence. He then realizes the goal of his final quest, extinguishing the flame of Olympus in order to finally defeat Zeus. To do this, however, he must find Pandora, the child of Pandora's box's namesake. Kratos makes his way through Hades and eventually finds Hades' palace, and the dead body of Persephone. Hades arrives and the two battle before Kratos defeats the god, sealing his soul into his own weapons. Kratos then escapes Hades through a gate and encounters Helios, whose head Kratos proceeds to rip off. He then encounters Hermes, who he kills, and later his own half-brother Hercules, whom he also kills. Kratos meets with Aphrodite and her husband Hephaestus in order to find their daughter Pandora. Hephaestus refuses to lead Kratos to her, however, and reveals that after Kratos opened Pandora's box, Zeus became overcome with fear and forced Hephaestus to reveal to the creation of the key of the box, which later took on a life of its own as a girl whom he named Pandora. Zeus then took Pandora and banished Hephaestus. Kratos urges Hephaestus, who tasks him with retrieving the Omphalos stone in order to make a weapon to allow Kratos to find Pandora. In his attempt to find the stone,
he's
Kratos
married
comes
to the god
across
of
Cronos,
love,
who assumes he has tried to kill Gaia and attacks him. Kratos fights Cronos and eventually frees the temple from the Titan's body before he eats Kratos. Inside his stomach, Kratos retrieves the Omphalos stone and cuts his way out and kills Cronos once and for all. Kratos confronts Hephaestus, who reveals that he was trying to send him on a suicide mission. Hephaestus attempts to feign innocence before trying to kill Kratos instead. Kratos shakes this off and kills him by impaling him on his own anvil before heading off to retrieve Pandora. Kratos' quest takes him to the gardens of Olympus, where he finds Hera, the wife of Zeus, drunken and belligerent. After making his way through the gardens, Hera confronts Kratos once again, insulting Pandora and causing Kratos to lash out and snap her neck, causing all plant life to die. Kratos makes it to the labyrinth and finds Daedalus, the labyrinth's architect.
Every god he kills, something happens. So when he killed Poseidon, the whole world flooded. When he killed Hades, all the souls from the underworld came out. He killed the sun, god of sun, the sun was no longer there. So every time he does something, it just causes more chaos. So he just killed her and no more plants.
Wow.
Yeah.
Trapped inside, Daedalus claims that Zeus promised him that he would have his son Icarus back once he completed the labyrinth. Kratos reveals that Icarus was in fact dead before activating a trap and killing the architect. Inside the labyrinth, Kratos finds Pandora and takes her with him. In the flame of Olympus's chamber, Kratos raises the labyrinth to access Pandora's box. However, Kratos refuses to let Pandora sacrifice her life, as he does not want to cause her death as he did his own daughters. She chooses to embrace her fate, however, and breaks free, only to be stopped by Zeus. Zeus mocks Kratos for showing care for Pandora as if she was his own, and tosses her aside before engaging in battle with his son once again. During the battle, Pandora attempts to run into the flame in order to put it out before Kratos grabs her to stop her. Pandora pleads with Kratos to let her seal her fate, and Zeus provokes him by telling him not to fail Pandora like he did his own family. Kratos reluctantly lets her go, and the flame of Olympus is extinguished. In the wake, Kratos opens Pandora's box once again, only to find that it is now empty. Zeus mocks his son once again, and the two meet outside and gaze upon the destruction Kratos has caused. The two are interrupted by Gaia, however, and she tries to kill them both. The two then enter a wound in Gaia's chest and fight beside her heart, draining the life out of it. Kratos, powered by the heart of Gaia, then impales Zeus into it with the blade of Olympus, finally killing both Gaia and his father Zeus. Awakening upon a broken earth, Kratos finds Zeus's body and retrieves the blade. However, as he tries to leave, Zeus's spirit attacks Kratos and drains him of his anger and willpower, replacing it with fear and loss, the forces that plagued his father. Trapped in his psyche and once again being tortured by his memories, the spirit of Pandora appears and helps Kratos abolish these torments through hope. Kratos returns to the physical world and forces Zeus's spirit back into his body. Kratos then charges him and beats him to death with his bare hands, finally killing him and destroying Olympus for good. Afterwards, Athena appears once more and congratulates Kratos, asking him to turn over the power he found inside Pandora's box so she could finally give it to mankind. Kratos laments that the world is destroyed, and anything she would have to give would be useless. More so, the box was empty, and Kratos believed Pandora had died in vain, simply another casualty in his quest for vengeance. Athena reveals to Kratos that when the evils of the Titans were first sealed into the box, she placed the most powerful weapon in the world beside them to counteract them, the power of hope. Athena had initially believed that when Kratos opened the box for the first time, all of its evils had transferred unto him, and hope was lost, when in actuality the evils went to the gods on Olympus and hope was buried deep in Kratos under his pains. Only upon forgiving himself was the power able to release inside of him. Kratos, realizing he has nothing left to live for, impales himself with the blade of Olympus, freeing the power of hope into the mortal world. Athena is angered by this and tells Kratos that she is disappointed, to which he responds with a final laugh before she removes the blade, leaving him to die. Sometime later, we see the mural where Kratos' body once was, now abandoned, with nothing but a trail of blood leading to the great sea that now enveloped the world. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching what has become the biggest What You Need to Know Yet.
That was a lot.
Yes, it was like 5 games that he just explained in 20. And each game was like 10 hours-ish. So he just explained like 50 hours in 20 minutes. Yeah.
Have you played all that?
I think I played all but one. You gotta think about it. I've played this game since I was 15 or something like that. So the games have been going on for almost a decade, if not more. When did God of War come out?
That's insane.
– 2005, yeah. 2005 was the first game ever to release. That was before the recession.
– 2004?
2005. It came out in July. You were about to turn 10. It came out in July 8th.
Yeah, I was 9 years old.
Yeah, it came out right at the same, July 8th. So you were about to turn 10 when the first came out.
I mean, it's a lot for me to remember.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot for me to remember, too.
It's just like a bunch of gods going against Kratos.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then making portals.
Yeah, so it's basically that whole
finding objects.
So that whole summary, he was like a revengeful, angry person. If you didn't notice. Like war-driven, revengeful, angry the whole time. And that's why that one line is so famous. He's like, Zeus, your son has came with the destruction of Olympus. Because he's like always trying to kill someone. And the thing is, like, the way he killed every god was just brutal. It was really brutal how he killed all.
I feel like my brain is just like... Oh my gosh, the graphics are so much better.
Yeah. So that's the new game. Like, that's the 2008 game, and then the 2000...
No wonder the old one was like...
Yeah, because how old it was.
Yeah, but I just couldn't recognize Kratos.
Yeah, and he's like way older than that one. So, you don't have to watch all this, but I just wanted to show you like how violent it is. So he's fighting Poseidon.
that when everything floods?
Not yet, but yeah, that was like Poseidon's like. That's how he fights. When he's in water.
Oh. Who's that?
Zeus
That's
should
Poseidon.
have kept you where you belong. No matter how many gods
Wait, then who was in the water?
there will
Well,
always be
he
another
remember
to
when you said
stand
that's cool? He
against
punched
you.
them out of the water, and then
They
the water
will
disappeared.
fall as well.
Oh.
The death of Olympus means the death of us all.
Then prepare for your death, Poseidon.
Wow. Gosh. You basically killed everyone?
Killed everyone that didn't live high enough.
Who's that?
Hades.
Why does he have all those things on his back?
Because he's the god of the underworld. That's like that was his second form. His first form, he was a lot cooler looking.
What did he just do?
Stole his soul, because that's what he stole his weapons, which steals people's souls. So he used it against them. Those are all the souls instead.
So what? Did I just see
I don't know.
a chicken-looking lady with her boobs out?
Probably.
What the frick? She looked like a chicken with no head.
It's a heartbeat, yeah.
A harpy?
Yeah, that's what they call those creatures.
Of all the lives you should worry about, Helios, mine is not one of them.
Who's that guy?
He's the god of sun.
Of the sun!
Oh, this guy's terrible. Come on, brother.
Wait! I can tell you that to destroy Zeus, you must step into the flame to receive its power.
You lie, Helios! Hephaestus told me the flame kills all who touch it.
And you believe him? That freak has fallen from the graces of Olympus!
That is exactly why I believe him.
My death will not lead you to Zeus.
That is where you are wrong.
What the heck?
He killed the god. Yeah.
Just ripped his head off though.
Yeah.
Like he had a sword right there.
And he decided to rip it off. Yeah. Crazy, huh?
I thought Spartans fought with honor, and yet you seek to kill me when I have no way to defend myself.
His name is... I forgot.
But you have
But he's like
sense of honor.
the god of speed or
Right,
something.
Kratos. And what is that honor?
Oh yeah, the
Little wing.
yeah.
Nothing but nightmares of your failure. Today you may defeat me, but in the end, Kratos, in the end, you'll betray only yourself.
Yes. Oh my god.
Leave me alone! Go away!
No way. What are you doing? What the heck?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like bats.
Yeah.
Or bugs or something. I think they're bugs. And the gross part about it is, you put on his boots after you ripped those legs off of him.
That's disgusting.
This is Hercules, which is his brother.
Who's he wearing?
Him? Kratos? He's just like those big gauntlets. Those are Hercules weapons that he stole. He, like one of the themes back in the past is every god he killed, he stole their weapons or something of them.
What is this stuff?
Oh my. Oh, this is Cronos, the Titan. The Titans came before gods. So the Titans are god. Like, the gods are children from the Titans. And then all the gods killed the Titans after.
Is this dude naked?
I don't know.
He is. Dang.
Yeah. I'm gonna pause it.
Oh wow, that was his forehead.
Huh?
That was his forehead?
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought we were on a mountain. I forgot he was fighting him.
Yeah.
Is this a guy or a girl?
Titan. Well, he's supposed to be a man, but Titans don't. They're not human.
No wonder.
Yeah. That's just a story, man.
You know what I asked that? He was naked and he didn't have
Anything. Yeah. So like when you see Gaia, the girl, she has like they're like made boobs, but they're not like boobs, almost. So it's just like this is not as interesting. This is Zeus. That's I think the first guy you're talking about. We saw the summary. This is like the actual fights. So I just wanted to show you the fights because how violent they are to show like this was his character. So that you understand like what kind of person he like, because it told his story, but it doesn't capture like actually what type of person he was. Like how he was just fighting all these people and just being vengeful and killing, and then even some of the dialogue you don't capture, but how just, but you get what type of person he is if you like how he killed Poseidon.
What does that thing do?
That's the heart. That's Gaia's heart, which is another Titan. So that's the heart of a Titan.
Oh, that's when he killed both of them at once, right?
So that's Gaia. Do you see what
Yeah, they actually have boobs, but not really. Like, they're mountains, literally.
Yeah. They're just not human.
Dude, why does it sound like bees?
Remember when you killed that guy? There was a bunch of flies that released.
Oh, wow, that's disgusting. Oh, gosh. that?
When Kratos first opened the Pandora box, and they thought the evil went into Kratos, but actually the hope did, and the evil went into the gods. So,
Wow.
you just and this is his own dad, you gotta...
I know.
It's because your eyes are being covered with blood, with how much you're beating him. And it just keeps going, so you know
The rage, what the fuck?
it all because they all tricked him into killing his own family. But yeah, like you can take like from the start to finish of this game, like how he killed everyone, you can tell what type of person he was, or is during this time. So to say the least, the night when because he's like 1,000 years older in the next game, and he has a kid. So
Wait, if he killed his family, then how does he have a kid?
1,000 years later, new wife.
Oh.
That's why he looks so much older in the other one versus like because he has that full beard and then you can tell he's just
His face aged. Well, that's crazy.
that's a lot of rage, you said.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but I wouldn't play this myself. It just pisses me off. They're just like, when you finish killing someone, you gotta go, there's like another person, and then another person. I feel like I would be so over it. Also, the most disgusting part about this was the flies.
Yeah.
I'm not about like, ooh, blood.
Yeah. But bugs is like,
No.
Oh.
Flies and worms.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm like,
Blah.
yeah.
I feel that.